It's not the kids I'm worried about. The kids are all right. It's the angry white guy. His days are numbered.
Total number of white guys over the age of 35 now in the United States, 19%. That's all we are, guys. Hey, what? They're cheering our demise, our extinction. That's what's going on here. You know that, right? We know it. We guys know it.
And if we understand what the dilemma of the white minority population on planet Earth is, and their key survival dilemma is that they are overwhelmingly outnumbered by people of color. And because of their genetic recessive state, they can be genetically annihilated.
Now, over here, they have to create an apartheid state because the white population is dwindling here. In about 17 states, more white people are dying than being born. So people in the dominant society, they go on alert. So when you have somebody like Trump spewing white supremacist rhetoric, people gravitate towards that really for a subconscious level of survival.
So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
What were your thoughts on the violent insurrection incited by Trump at the Capitol?
Oh my God, that's all such a lie. That was all the left. We have all the proof. There's tons of proof.
January 6th was a plan that was pre-planned by the Democrats.
I knew that it was pre-organized by Antifa.
What did you think of what happened on the 6th?
On the 6th?
6th of January, the violent insurrection. What did you think of that?
That's what you guys call it, the insurrection?
What would you call it?
Well, I call it a movement by the communists to make it look like Trumpers did it. That's what I call it.
So many Trump supporters arrested at it.
Well, that's what you guys say. I don't believe that. You prove it to me.
I mean, there's all the indictments.
I mean, whatever you guys say, I don't believe any of it.
Right.
To tell you the truth.
These Trump supporters are in denial about what happened on January 6th, and some believe in QAnon.
What's going to happen at some point is there'll be arrests, and that'll include a lot of the line media, and then there'll be military tribunals.
They keep saying that for years, and it's not happening.
It hasn't been years. It hasn't been years.
It's been since 2017. It's been years now.
Believe me, we're taking it. This is a 6,000-year-old death cult.
Right.
You can't take it down that quick.
I understand you're a very passionate Trump supporter, right? But yes. you surely can admit that the people who stormed the Capitol were Trump supporters.
No, I definitely cannot. In fact, you're talking to the right person, because I can send you tons of footage that shows that was all the left dressed up, the Antifa, the BLM, dressed up as Trump supporters.
All warfare is based on deception.
A lie repeated 1,000 times becomes the truth. The man who said that even proved it. The lie became part of himself and the system he served. His name was Joseph Goebbels. He was Nazi Germany's Minister of Propaganda. The myths that he created exist to this day.
You surely can admit that the people who stormed the Capitol were Trump supporters.
No, I definitely cannot. In fact, you're talking to the right person, because I can send you tons of footage that shows that was all the left dressed up, the Antifa, the BLM, dressed up as Trump supporters.
It is my hope that President Trump comes back as the 19th president of the United States under the 1776, and that he is inaugurated on March 4th. That is my hope for our future.
The oddity in all of this is the people Trump despises most love him the most. Go look at Mar-a-Lago, see if there's any people that look like you. I'm talking to you in the audience. The Trump voter who, idolizes the guy, he despises you.
This morning, we still don't know where U.S.-China trade negotiations are headed. Over the last several days, the markets haven't liked the confusion one bit. However the markets feel, though, there's one sector that is being hit hard by this impasse. U.S. farmers, they are suffering. And one question is whether it will affect their vote. CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich, she's in Mount Bethel, Pennsylvania, the eastern edge of the state, farm country in Pennsylvania. And you've been digging, Vanessa. What have you found?
Hi, good morning, John. Yeah, farmers have had a tough couple of years between bad weather and this trade war that has persisted. Nationally, farm bankruptcies are up 24% in just the last year. And here, dairy farms in Pennsylvania are dwindling. We spoke to some farmers who supported the president, but say they're rethinking their vote for 2020. Bill Boyd has been farming all his life. He grew up on this dairy farm in Pennsylvania. Is the dairy business profitable?
Just like everything else in agriculture right now. Barely profitable.
Made more so, he says, by the trade war. What are your thoughts on the trade war? Good idea, bad idea?
That was a bad idea.
Boyd, a Republican, voted for President Trump, but doesn't support the president's tactics with China. How big of a hit has that loss of the China market been to you?
Cost the farmers here $2 a bushel.
Is that a lot?
Yes, that's the profit.
Pennsylvania will be a key state in the 2020 election. It helped elect President Trump in 2016, who campaigned here on promises made to farmers like Boyd.
I think he's sort of backstabbing the main people who got him into office in the Midwest. All those Midwest states helped to vote him in, and also Pennsylvania, and he just left us down.
Will you vote for him again in 2020?
Unless they come up with a better alternative, I'm going to vote for him again.
Oh, man. See, but that's you must understand the Trump voter. These are legitimate concerns. Legitimate concerns.
People who got him into office in the Midwest, all those Midwest states helped to vote him in, and also Pennsylvania, and he just left us down.
Will you vote for him again in 2020?
Unless they come up with a better alternative, I'm going to vote for him again.
The president still trying to close a phase 1 trade deal with China, which could restart big buying of U.S. ag products, lifting prices. It's a lifeline for farmers like Jesse Poliskowitz.
There was talks about a month ago that they were supposed to be opening back up, and I've seen prices go down. I have not seen prices go up.
Poliskowitz, a Democrat, voted for Obama and then flipped to Trump, just like Northampton County here in Pennsylvania.
Right now, I would not vote for him. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I don't see a good candidate.
On either side?
On either side, in my opinion.
Because I know a lot of people in Michigan that are planning to vote for Trump, and they don't necessarily like him that much, and they don't necessarily agree with him. They're not racist and rednecks, they're actually pretty decent people. And so I wanted to sort of, after talking to a number of them, I wanted to write this. And Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said, if you close these factories as you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the Brexit states. You live here in Ohio, you know what I'm talking about. Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant because he's saying the things to people who are hurting.
Second thing we run up against quite frequently originated with Ludwig Feuerbach, the brilliant German philosopher and theologian who utterly destroyed the philosophy of Hegel. Feuerbach came to the conclusion in a book, The Essence of Christianity, that man visualized his own wishes of God and immortality, projected them beyond his body, and then worshiped them. And that God is nothing more than your desire and my desire to survive and believe in someone or something that can guarantee that survival. I've condensed 340 pages of Feuerbach into one paragraph so we can have a Reader's Digest condensation. This is the theory of wish fulfillment. Now understand it very well. I wish to exist. I wish to be immortal. I wish for God to guarantee this. Therefore, because I wish it to be true, I project that wish and worship it. And that becomes, in effect, the explanation for the idea of God. Now, of course, he does it very elaborately and develops it chapter after chapter, and it's a devastating book. Unless you really understand Feuerbach, you can get yourself not only tripped up, but pretty badly blooded, because he was a tremendous intellect.
Every day, I wake up determined to deliver a better life for the people all across this nation that have been ignored, neglected, and abandoned. I have visited the laid-off factory workers and the communities crushed by our horrible and unfair trade deals. These are the forgotten men and women of our country, and they are forgotten, but they're not going to be forgotten long. These are people who work hard, but no longer have a voice. I am your voice.
I would not even name the era after him. Yeah. He's getting too much credit.
Well, he's the president?
He's not making the wave, he's surfing it. Yeah. They were talking crazy. He just, all he does is sing those people's greatest hits. Build a Wall, all these things we've heard before. He just sings all the songs. He's the only one that has been brash enough to do it.
I call it truthful hyperbole.
I came up with the phrase truthful hyperbole. And of course, it's a ridiculous term because there is no such thing as truthful hyperbole, but it's kind of a winning phrase. It really does capture a way in which he sees the world. The truth doesn't mean much to Donald Trump.
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me, and they also would like to see problems in these areas, like especially the areas that we're talking about, go away, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like. We'll send them in. We'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less. Okay?
Well, at the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind? Or
well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there, and we are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country.
Am I only a God nearby, declares the Lord, and not a God far away? Who can hide in secret places so that I cannot see them? declares the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, declares the Lord.
All right, here we go. Maintain humanity under 500 million. So, how many people we got to kill?
We got to kill a lot of people.
Well, Monsanto's doing a good job. Maybe Monsanto, maybe they did this. Yeah, it's a good possibility. Who knows? But they want to kill plenty of people. Here we go.
We just know that they're killing a lot of people.
Here we go. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Okay, well, that's eugenics.
It is not paranoid to be realistic. Jesus said, the God of this age, the ruler of this world or age is coming. There's nothing in me. Yeah, but the ruler of this age is coming, Dr. Barnhouse said, and he findeth plenty in you and me. There's residual evil in us to which Satan can appeal. And then he uses that to manipulate us and use us against each other and even against the Church of Christ. Some of the worst damage done in the Christian church today is done by Christians who have yielded themselves without even recognizing it to Satan.
He had the biggest crowd on Inauguration Day. He had more people than ever. He was the most popular people. He saved NBC, but with The Apprentice, you go down the line of things that really aren't true, and people kept pointing to them. But because they loved him so much and he was so strong for the evangelicals were with him all the way.